Welcome to Attenuation, a weekly podcast where two friends come together to drink beer, discuss beer styles and trends, and just generally ruminate on the meaning of life, aka beer. If you enjoy your time with us, we invite you to become a weekly listener and subscribe to the podcast. Without further ado, here is this week's episode.
Hello, and welcome to episode 54 of Attenuation, a beer podcast. My name is Jason, and I'm joined by my best friend since 8th grade, Steven.
Hello.
How are you doing today, sir?
Amazing.
That's good.
Because my work week is over, and now I get to drink beer on the podcast.
Yeah, we moved, if the audience probably doesn't know this, but we used to record on a school night for Steven. Actually, I said that all the time, that it's a school night for you. But we moved it to basically your Friday.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Much better. And you can drink stronger beers and not have to worry.
Yeah, can sleep in the morning if I have to.
There we go. Why didn't we do this from the beginning? We're stupid.
I don't know. Yeah, we're done.
All right, well, today we have a fun topic. We're going to do beer destinations bucket lists. So not beers that we want to drink, but places that we want to go to drink beer.
Yeah.
So,
important definition, distinction. Even my wife was like, all right, so you're doing white whale beers again? I'm like, no.
It's places.
Beer bucket list, like beer experiences. It's different.
Oh, I got you. That's awesome.
I think I even asked you when I proposed the topic, like, it's not too similar, right? And you're like, no.
No, it's different. And people will see it's different. It's more about, experiences. So. Okay. Well, before we get to that, we have to do a couple other segments. The first segment and our favorite segment is drinking beer. So we both picked a beer, and then we will give nose notes, and then I'll pass it to Steven to give nose notes, and then we will drink, and then we give our tasting notes. So today, I'm sad, Steven, because I don't have what I wanted to have. So I went to the grocery store to go look for that atomic torpedo.
Okay.
And I found the big pack, but I couldn't do it.
The hoppy sampler?
The hoppy sampler. Because, if I was, going to a party this weekend or something, then I would have just got it and brought it. But I have nothing going on, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy a giant pack of beer just to try one beer that I might not even like.
Unfortunately, I like it.
I know, but I'm a little bit like you. I like trying new things, so
yeah. The
prospect of having a bunch of the same thing is not what interests me anymore.
Well, plus it's a whole bunch of beers that really should be consumed quickly, right?
That's the other thing.
Should hang out in your fridge for a long time.
Right. It's really it's something you want to bring to an event or a dinner or get together. So I didn't want it just sitting in my house, but I did get the regular torpedo because I haven't had one in a really long time, and I figure I'll do this one, and then maybe I'll see if I can find the single, and then I could do this one and the single of the atomic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like the tropical torpedo.
I like that one too.
Yeah,
I think I actually probably prefer this one, but so it's funny because I'm kind of used to hazies, and it's not hazy. You can see right through it, and it's a very dark orange, almost reddish. A very, very vigorous head, and it's forming a really thick carpet of just pretty big bubbles, actually, and it's semi-lacing. The head's very vigorous. It smells so good. It smells like IPAs I don't drink anymore. Like that. It's so piney. It's that West Coast style, and you still get tropical, but it's not like that wide array of tropical notes. It's much more singular focused.
Almost more citrusy sometimes.
You get this. It's citrus and pine, and then you get the malt too. It's got that sweet caramel smell. All right, cool. I'm excited to try this one. What are you drinking today?
All right. Well, I got a Tabor box today, so I had a lot of choices, but I decided to go with Ghost in the Machine from Parish Brewing in New Orleans, Louisiana. One of my top 10 favorite beers.
Yeah, I was gonna say epic choice. Nice.
And it's been a while since I've been able to drink this, so I'm excited to drink it on the podcast and dissect it and talk about it. So this is a hazy double IPA. I love the bottle. It says manifested on 2/17/22, so a little over a month old.
Ooh, it's pretty fresh.
Yeah, not too bad.
I mean, the fact that you got it through
Tavor.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's a very classic hazy IPA, super pale in color, a nice big foamy head with tight thin bubbles, nice retaining head. This is a beautiful beer if you love hazy IPAs. When I poured it out, I think the thing I love about this beer is how clean the smell is. And I it might be hard to define, but it's just like, it's all fruit, which is like kind of the point, right, of the juicy IPA, to really get those fruit flavors out. So it's like the yeast esters just produce this amazing like tropical bouquet of like, it's like subtle guava, mango, definitely some like orange, all fruit. There's no pine in this one.
Yeah, we're drinking like polar opposite beers. It's funny.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit of like berry, maybe strawberry in there too. So, oh, okay, smells amazing. I'm ready to drink.
All right, cheers. My West Coast IPA. Cheers. Cheers is your
East Coast. We got the covered both coasts.
I forgot how much I like this. It's so good. This is what we talked about last episode. Like, if you're in a beer rut, you should just go back to things you know you really like. I really like Torpedo. It's like orange rind, grapefruit, and then like herbal, dank, grass, caramel malt, and then like a bitter, danky grass finish. And it's all like perfectly balanced. So you just get like, I don't know, it's all kind of happening at once, but it's also like you get some nice stage of like, you get the entrance with the fruit flavors, and then it kind of gets dank, and then all of a sudden it's kind of sweet at the end. And despite it being 7.2%, like you can't taste the alcohol at all, which is crazy. It's solid. I gotta try the atomic one now. Maybe.
I think you can find it eventually.
Yeah, as the single.
Yeah, as the tall boy can.
Yeah, pair it with one of these and do a side by side.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, thumbs up on this one for sure.
Awesome. An old standard, the Torpedo.
It is an old standard.
Awesome. Well, there wasn't much doubt, but this is a thumbs up for me too, of course. But I love getting back to a beer that I've not had in a long time, that is easily in my top 10. I forgot. This is all Citra hopped beer. All of my favorites.
I was going to say, that's like a common thread for you.
Yeah. I know it's pretty lame to say like Citra is my favorite hop, but you know, it's hard to argue. I have some secondary favorites, but yeah, Citra is pretty awesome. So I don't think I mentioned this is 8.5%, so pretty strong. It's really funny because all those like tropical fruits that I mentioned on the nose, it doesn't really follow in the drinking experience, which is so cool. So you get this like amazing like tropical bouquet of, like I said, guava, passion fruit, orange on the nose, and then you drink it and you're like, oh, this is a double IPA. Like, it is dank. You get this like dank blueberry and melon rind and grapefruit for sure. Maybe a little bit of like mandarin orange, and then that pine that you're talking about. So it's like the aroma, which is, you know, like all the dry hopping of the Citra hops, I'm sure, just drives those aromas. And then, but also drives that like drinking experience. It's like everything you could ever want in an IPA in one. And there is like a touch of the booze at the end, like just enough to, you know, remind you that you're drinking a double IPA, but not a lot of bitterness, which is, you know, part of the fact that it's a hazy IPA with a lot of dry hopping. So, man, seriously, I think this is like 99 on Beer Advocate, maybe even 100. I don't know, but it's fantastic, and there's a reason why people love this beer.
It's a good one. I've gotten one through Tavor as well.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
I think you even asked me, like, should I buy this? And I was like, yes.
I did ask you. Yeah. And you're like, put it in your cart. So 2 thumbs up. We're off to a good start.
Oh, such a good beer.
So, awesome. So do we have next segment is postscripts, where we correct errors from previous episodes, and beer news. I think we have some beer news today.
Do we have any postscripts? Nothing, huh?
I don't have one.
We're perfect. Perfect again. Eventually we can just get rid of that segment. I think you mentioned, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, when I was editing, You said like, oh, I'll postscript that.
Uh-oh. Well, I'll get it next
I'm
time.
going to have to listen back and figure that one out. I think it was something weird. Okay. Sorry. Just a little teaser. Next week, we will postscript the postscript.
There we go. Delayed postscript.
Okay, but I do have some really good beer news. So, after, I think, 4 years of a legal battle, Stone Brewing, we mentioned this we were talking about weird beer lawsuits and stuff, but Stone Brewing has won its lawsuit against Molson Coors, who have Keystone. They won their lawsuit against them for basically making the can that said Stone. They shortened the name of Keystone to Stone, and they were awarded $56 million in damages.
Oh my goodness.
And of course they have to, revamp the can. They can't use that can anymore.
56 million? How much volume does Stone do?
I don't know, but listen to this. So it was a 3-week trial. The jury decided unanimously that Molson Coors had violated trademark, but they also decided that the infringement was not committed purposefully. So they didn't think Molson Coors was specifically trying to make it look like a Stone Brewing beer.
Okay.
So Stone was asking for $216 million in damages.
Wow.
Yeah, and they got $56 million. So, ask for the whole farm. Well, ask for the whole farm, maybe.
They got a quarter.
You got a quarter. So,
I mean, I understand. I thought the can was pretty bad. I think if you were in a rush, you could grab it and think you were getting stoned, but there's no way it did. No way $200 million of mistakes were made.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, I think it's a good win for Stone. Molson Coors spokesperson said they took a little swipe at Stone, saying that the motive for the lawsuit was just because they have a lot of debt to pay and they were looking for a way to make some money. But
rude.
Yeah.
Bitter. Interesting.
I mean, I think 56 million is probably, it's a lot of money, but.
Yes, definitely. But for that big of a corporation.
I think, and it was a legitimate lawsuit, I think. I really think.
The can looked pretty bad.
Yeah. They definitely made the key very small.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, a win for the little guy.
Nice. All right, perfect. Well, we can go on to our main topic. So, beer destinations bucket list. So these are places or experiences related to beer that we want to have, not necessarily beers that we want to drink.
Good distinction.
Because you've already done white whales.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. So my first one is...
We don't know each other's.
Yeah, we didn't. We're going in blind.
Other than one mutual, so...
That I knew was going to happen.
We may have multiple mutual. I don't know. We don't know for sure.
That's true. You might have picked this one too. This is kind of cliche, but I feel like I really want to do it. I want to go to Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany.
Yeah, that was on my list too. Everyone listening to the podcast was like, okay.
I know it's very cliche, but
no, it sounds amazing.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds amazing because first of all, it's just a huge festival. Right, it's a huge festival. There's everyone looks like they're having an amazing time. Really, you have tons of people just going there for that. So it's just this amazing group of people that are happy because they're just there to drink beer and have fun. And the beer part of it really is interesting too. It has to meet the Reinheitsgebot. There's really only 5 breweries that can brew the beer that meets the qualifications. And, so it's just this really cool idea of just almost feeling like going back in time. You got to put the lederhosen on. And
yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. It's so it's just as much a beer event as a cultural event where, I don't know, it's been going on for 200 plus years, right? So there's so much history and it's so interesting. And it also happens to be a cool beer drinking event.
Right. But yeah, there's a fair that's going on with tons of rides. And It's crazy to think that, like, I think 16 is the beer drinking age. So you
I
have
didn't know that.
16-year-olds there.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'll go when my kids are 16 and 18 and we can just all...
That'd be fun.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
That's a great idea. And you could kind of see, you could travel and that'd be part of it.
Yep. The beer is about 6% alcohol, apparently. So,
right, because it's very specific what they can make, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not gonna take you out, but that huge big old...
I know they serve it in big pours.
I love this thing. It says, we say that up to 2 mass beers, which is 2 liters, is a good measure. This can typically be handled by normal folks without any memory loss, belligerence, or upset stomachs.
That's hilarious.
With 3 beers, you will quickly approach the borderline. It is a really big glass of beer.
Yeah, it's massive.
The Stein, is that what they call that? A Stein?
I think so.
Yeah, it would be awesome. And you do have to dress up, I think.
I would.
So seeing Jason in some lederhosen would be
worth the tick
worth
price
it.
Admission.
Plus, there's probably some good food too, right?
I would imagine.
Like good German food.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Sausages and
yeah, big pretzels, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, we overlapped already.
Dang.
So
Okay.
predictable.
I know. All right, what was your first one?
Or
the second one, I guess.
Yeah, so that was my... Okay, so yeah, that kind of was my first one. Okay, so my second one is... And maybe this... I don't know, probably should overlap these trips since I'm already over there. But going to Belgium, most specifically, because I would want to visit multiple breweries in Belgium, but most specifically, I would want to go to Timmermans, which is the oldest lambic brewery still brewing beer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How old are they?
They've been brewing lambic since 1705.
Oh
or
my
1702.
That doesn't even compute inside my brain.
It doesn't make sense.
It's 320 years. It's like 10 generations.
Yeah, not just that, but it's like, think of what has happened over that amount of time and the technological advances and the wars and the history.
And they've just been making beer
They've
the whole time.
Making beer. Making lambics, regardless of what was going on around them.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so Brasserie Timmermans is definitely on my list of places to drink. Because and not just this oldest brewery in Belgium and that there's just a lot of history, but just the style of beer and the brewing it the way beer has been made for like the original, it's really the original craft beer, right? Like the original sort of terroir and brewing beer with the yeast that's in the air and with local ingredients and stuff. And it's like there are tons of breweries now in the United States doing that kind of thing, but this is like the OG. It's so cool. Just the idea of that is awesome.
That makes sense. All right, very good pick. Okay, yeah. My next pick is... This one's very attainable. We should do it next year, maybe. Because I think we talked about it and it's already sold out. The Firestone Walker Invitational.
Yes. Yeah.
I really want to go to that.
Yeah, there's actually a couple small invitational festivals I think kind of fit that bill, like the Weldworks Invitational, Wakefest, done by Jay Wakefield in Florida, and then the Firestone Invitational. I think are sort of some of the three. They carry enough clout, I think, that they just get awesome breweries.
Yes.
And they're small, and it's small venue, and so it's just it's not overwhelming, right? I mean, you could probably, I think, like you said, the small Davis Beer Fest or whatever that was, at Sudwork. A small beer fest, you feel like you can go to every.
Yeah, you can go to every booth. You probably can't try every single beer, but you're gonna try everything you want to try, which is fun. It's not as overwhelming. Yeah,
which is just not possible at the Great American Beer Festival. You have to pick and choose. So I think that's the other cool thing about these small invitationals is that not only is it basically all world-class beer there, Like, you don't have to wade through bad beer, which is another thing you have to do at the Great American Beer Festival.
Yes.
like it's fun to try some of the booths that don't really have long lines and breweries no one's ever heard of, but you're going to drink some bad beer, which you're just not going to at these invitationals. So
yeah, and this one's like so close to me. It's only 4 hours away, so like there's just no excuse. I really have to do it. I just got to get like tickets the second they go on sale. That's the hard part.
Yeah. The other hard thing right now, I think same with the Weldworks Invitational, because they just had their ticket sales. A lot of them were canceled last year.
Okay.
And so they gave tickets this year preferentially to the people that had gotten tickets last year.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
And then whatever was left over, like anybody who had, people who didn't buy tickets this time, then could get tickets. But there weren't a lot of tickets for anybody who hadn't bought tickets last year and wasn't able to go. So
that makes sense. So next year might be a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, that's on our list.
The other hard thing about that, well, not for you, but for me, it's like the hard place to get. It's in a random place.
I know. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Paso Robles, California, I think, which...
Yes, it's kind of...
I was enticing Jill to do that, to go out with me to that one, because it's fairly close to Hearst Castle.
Oh, okay.
And she loves Hearst Castle. Have you ever been to Hearst Castle?
No. I would love to go to that, too. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
You're not into it?
I don't know. I get kind of bored with that sort of like, I don't know. There's just like this weird opulence to it.
Yeah.
It's just sort of strange.
I guess I might feel different about it now that I'm old and cynical. But when I went to Prague in high school, we toured a bunch of like palaces. Yeah. And I remember thinking it was so cool.
I mean, it is pretty cool. Like just the house and the pools and the history that was like happened there and all the celebrities that visited this place. Like to think, just to like kind of put yourself into that spot and just like imagine these crazy pool parties happening in this like amazing opulent pool with celebrities walking around. And yeah, it's interesting. And then there's like zebras running around because he used to have a zoo. And then like
really?
And then a lot of those animals like got out. So there's just these like wild ranging zebras.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, Hearst Castle's fun, and it's fairly close to there. So I can get my wife to go if we do a tour of Hearst Castle while we're there.
There you go. It's a little bit of a compromise, but
yeah, Firestone Walker Invitational, that would be super fun. The other thing, too, is, with the beer festival, the Great American Beer Festival, there's some breweries that just don't come there, like Other Half and Toppling Goliath. And there's breweries that just don't make the trip anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or ever. There's some that used to and don't now. But that's not true with invitationals.
Mm-hmm.
You get some, you get breweries like Other Half that do not usually travel.
They'll come for that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to like not only taste some world-class beers, but world-class beers that otherwise you would have to like go out to Boston or go to New York or so Trillium, Treehouse, same thing. So
yeah, that'd be super cool. So that's my number 2. They're in no particular order. This is one of my 4.
Okay, so my other one is, so I've been to New Belgium in Fort Collins. Their tour apparently is awesome. It's like a 90-minute tour. You get all these cool tastings. It's actually, I think, open to all ages, so just be super fun.
Cool.
Like take my kids, because I think they would enjoy. I mean, my kids have sort of watched me brew beer and helped me, so I think they would love to see like a tour of something that happening at a massive scale.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When I was there, of course, like they weren't doing tours. I still think they haven't reopened those tours yet. Hopefully they will again. I can imagine using.
They got to bring it back eventually.
Yeah. There was another major brewery. I can't remember who it was. They just announced on Instagram that they were bringing tours back. So I think it's gonna happen eventually. Hopefully they don't use it as an excuse to just not do it anymore.
Oh, do they not like doing the tours?
I don't know. I mean, I would think that they do, but who knows?
It seems like a big draw because I love going on tours of breweries.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I think it's very much on par with Sierra Nevada's tour. Both of those places rank very high in terms of how people enjoy the tours. So the New Belgium tour, what's cool is that in Fort Collins, you could do a trio of tours. You could do New Belgium, but then you could do they have a huge Budweiser plant in Fort Collins. So doing the New Belgium tour, doing the Budweiser tour, and then Odell Brewing, which is a smaller brewer there in Fort Collins, they have a cool tour. So doing that sort of trio of tours in one trip would be really cool.
Nice, yeah. 3 in 1 trip.
It's like small, mid-range, and ginormous.
Macro.
Yeah. Kind of a cool like range of, breweries and size of brewery and seeing, different styles being made. So yeah, it would be really cool to do all 3 of those. Yeah,
I like that. It'd be cool to see the different, like you said, the 3 sizes as well.
Yeah, and you get the benefit of being at New Belgium, drinking all the Lips of Faith beers like Le Terroir and Transatlantic Creek,
which we learned a lot about.
What's the other one? What's the brown?
La Folie.
La Folie.
It's a good one.
This is like the 3 best beers. Le Terroir, a hoppy sour. Can't beat that.
Nope.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, I love I don't think they call them Lips of Faith anymore, but I love those beers.
Yep. Cool.
Okay, so my next one is, I really, really, really just want to go to Treehouse Brewing Company.
Okay. That's
because,
cool.
I mean, it's kind of a white whale thing, but they just dominate, and you can't get it anywhere. Maybe if we go to the Invitational, we could go.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I think it'd be fun to go. I mean, obviously, it's close to Boston, so you could just do like a whole thing, go to Boston and, see the city and do some of those other things you could do there, but then make the drive out to Treehouse. And
I'll bet Sam Adams has a little fun thing too.
Yeah, I feel like you could definitely like knock out a bunch of things if you went to Boston. So, but I'd want to specifically go for Treehouse.
Yeah, I mean, I think just sitting in there drinking Treehouse beers on tap, like I don't think
it would feel so cool.
That.
Yeah, especially if like I had never had one before, just to go straight to the brewery and drink there. And I've seen there's like pictures of their tap room online. It looks really cool. They have like an indoor wooden gazebo with all these lights. I don't know. It looks like a chill place.
Yeah, I kind of think it's one of those things where if you're local to there, like you probably don't go as often as you should. You forget that place is close, because I can't imagine being close enough to go there every weekend. Because I'm pretty sure I would if I could.
Yeah, it's probably the same way. I mean, I'm like an hour and a half from Russian River. It's probably the same thing, right? Like, yeah, people are like, oh, you should go all the time, but you take your things for granted when they're really close to you.
But yeah, the thought of drinking beers there, I didn't write this down, but I think my sort of similarity to that one would be Toppling Goliath, because it's just like it's going to take a very concerted effort to get to Decorah, Iowa.
Yes. That's the thing. It's a little bit like this. It's like a pilgrimage, because, I mean, at least this one you just fly to Boston and then drive like an hour or whatever. But that one, Toppling Goliath, is a little bit harder. But
yeah, it's very, very out of the way. But the idea of sitting in a tap room and just ordering King Sue on tap, like I don't know, I would lose my mind, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little different now because I can get Sudo Sue and King Sue in the store, so which is pretty cool. Because for a long time it just was like a crapshoot when I could get it. Like every once in a while I could get it on Tabor. Every once in a while I would see it in the store when I was in California. And then when I first moved to Texas, like I couldn't get it at all unless it popped up on Tabor. So anyway, just being able to get it now is cool. But like sitting in a tap room and ordering that on tap, I think it's just, I don't know, there's something magical to that, like a fantasy that like doesn't actually exist.
See, now you're adding one to my list. For like the exact same reason, now I'm adding this to my list. So I have 5 now, but it's the same way I feel about New Glarus.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing. It's like a pilgrimage. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, I think.
You could probably do those 2 in one. I mean, Wisconsin and Iowa are fairly close. if I know my geography.
I don't know. See, the problem with New Glarus is like I'll map it, but I guess you'd fly into like Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like halfway across the state from Milwaukee. You're definitely like making a pilgrimage, but I don't know. There's something especially because they don't sell their beer outside of Wisconsin.
Right. So that's even more of a, like magical experience.
Yeah, you're like going to this place that like I don't know.
You're like, wait, I can just keep ordering this. It's okay. You'll let
me.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's only 2 hours from Milwaukee, so it's about what we did to get to Barrel Breaker. And then let's see if we could. What did you want to add to this little leg of this trip in Iowa?
Oh, in Toppling Goliath.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's going to be pretty far away. Oh, you know what? It's only like 2 more hours. Okay, this is our next trip, Steven. We're going to fly to Milwaukee.
Okay.
We're going to drive to New Glarus, check into a hotel, Uber to New Glarus, drink all day in New Glarus, get up the next day, drive to Toppling Goliath.
Okay.
Repeat. And then we're like halfway to Minneapolis.
Yeah, fly out of Minneapolis.
Yeah, fly out of Minneapolis. Or we could backtrack to Milwaukee.
Done.
Right, done. That's the next trip.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a pilgrimage as well. It's a double pilgrimage, but that would be fun.
I had a patient at work that she was from Iowa. And it was funny because I was like, oh, I kind of want to go to Iowa. And she was like, why would you want to go to Iowa? And I said, well, you know, it might sound weird, but I want to go to Decorah, Iowa. And she's like, I know where that is, but why would you want to go there? And I was like, well, there's a really good brewery there. And she actually said, she was the one that said, oh, well, like you should go there, but you should also go to Wisconsin because there's great beer in Wisconsin too. So that's why I had an inkling that maybe it wasn't super far since it was recommended to me.
Yeah, no, I think this is doable.
That would be awesome.
We gotta wait for gas to be cheaper and rental cars to be cheaper.
Yeah, rental cars have come down.
Have they come down finally?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's funny because I'm literally leaving tomorrow for California to come to the Pliny the Younger release, and I had originally, because I'm bougie, I had originally reserved a like a SUV, like not a big SUV, like a RAV4 size, you know, like an intermediate SUV. And then I was like, oh wait, gas is going to be like way too expensive there.
Yes, unfortunately, my friend, gas in California is no joke.
I was like, I better reserve an economy car. So now I'm getting like a Toyota Yaris or something.
Yeah, that's what you'll need. I'll look it up for you right now. Arco is $5.29.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's craft beer prices right there.
It's true. A gallon of gas or a really good beer.
Yeah. I used to, I can't remember. It was like a friend or someone who used to be like, they'd be like, a gallon of gas should not cost more than a gallon of milk or whatever. They used to make that comparison all the time. I was like, oh,
it's true.
Yeah. So I constantly compare the price of a gallon of gas to a gallon of milk. Pretty sure a gallon of milk is way cheaper than a gallon of gas right now.
Oh yeah. Although groceries are getting super expensive too.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, okay, are you up or am I up?
Well, I'm up, but I think this is a mutual one too.
Okay.
So I want to go to, I think the brewery, one of the original breweries of Goza is in Leipzig, Germany, if I've done my research correctly. So I want to go to Germany, and maybe this would be part of my Munich Oktoberfest trip.
Right.
I would make a little cut over to Leipzig, Germany, and drink Goza. That's one of the oldest Goza breweries. I
didn't put Leipzig, but I said Goslar because that's the first place Goza was brewed. I don't know if you could go to like, your plan is probably better because you could probably go to a place where they've like been brewing it consistently for like hundreds of years. Yeah. But I just thought it'd be cool to go to, one, the city looks so cool, and two, it's like where Goza was first brewed. I don't know if there's like a place that you could go where they've been continuously brewing it, but I don't know, it just looks like such a cool city. Yeah, I mean, I think just being in Germany and probably driving through the countryside and going to those old towns, I think would just be awesome. Is there a particular brewery we're thinking about going to? Yeah, so I think it's Dolnitzer Rittergutz. Okay. And it's in Leipzig, Germany. It's won gold medal at the World Beer Awards as the world's best Goza.
multiple years.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's just cool. Those kind of like picking the Oktoberfest, but like connecting to like the old roots of the styles you like is a really cool idea.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, I've said this before, but drinking my all-time favorite style basically in the place where it originated, I don't know, something cool about that. I would just like die and go to heaven that day. I would ascend to the beer goat.
The one with the udders.
The udders. They serve goza out of the udders of the goat.
The heaven goat.
My Viking.
Is it the Viking heaven?
Yeah.
I remember that topic.
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, I think a Germany trip is in line.
I feel like you got to do both of those because otherwise you have to do 2 separate trips in Germany.
Yeah, I think definitely it would be all included in one big Germany and probably Belgium trip, honestly, just because I'm over there. Man.
Well, we're not used to, because we live in the United States and this country is actually gigantic. But if you go to Europe, those countries are pretty close together.
Yeah, you do the Czech Republic too, and just drink a bunch of beer, and where they love to drink beer, right? Highest per capita drinking.
Is that? Yeah, that's right.
In Czech Republic.
That's amazing.
I mean, of course, France would be fun too. Even like drinking some classic saisons too, and on the France and Belgium border. Man, you could do some really, really cool beer tastings on that trip.
Totally. Yeah.
So.
All right, so we have a lifetime of trips planned.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool because, I mean, there's stuff that, I mean, that's going to take a lot of forethought and planning and money probably.
Yeah.
But
the last one especially.
But there's also ones that are like, you know, pretty attainable. Honestly, so I'm like I said, I'm coming out tomorrow for the Pliny the Younger release. In some ways that, you know, I've been there before, but that is kind of a bucket list experience for me in terms of, you know, just going as many times as I can. I mean, I know it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous to travel all that way for a beer, but I don't know. There's just something special. I'm so excited about being there and not only drinking Pliny the Younger, but being surrounded by beer nerds.
Yes.
Because I don't really get that. You know, every Thursday night I get it.
Yeah, over Skype.
Yeah, I get to be around my one beer nerd, but yeah, to be in that place where everyone that goes there realizes they're probably gonna wait like 3 or 4 hours in line. Like nobody's gonna do that unless they really, really like beer. So
yeah.
So being in that company and then just, you know, hopefully getting something from the cellar, which is kind of now a tradition.
Something old and sour.
I'm super excited about that. So just when you're a beer nerd, this is how you plan your vacations.
Yeah, it's all about beer experience.
I'm pretty excited too. I'm going to New York in June, which hopefully going to Other Half.
Nice.
And Grimm is another one that's sort of on my list of making amazing beer in all sorts of styles and sours and IPAs and stouts, truly. So yeah, there's some really cool beer in New York that I'm hoping to get to. So yeah, checking some stuff off the list, making little beer trips, disguised as a family vacation.
You're like, yeah, fam, let's go to New York. It'll be fun. I promise we won't be at breweries the whole time.
Yeah, I know. My wife is sort of like calms me down, like, okay, pick like 2 or 3. Okay. Not one every day. Okay, all right.
You're like, fair enough. Compromise is key.
So that should be cool.
Cool.
All right, we got goals. # goals.
I know, and they're good too because I like feel like some of them are more obtainable and will be easier to do. Like we could probably do the Invitational next year, and then Germany trip is going to require more planning.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it would be fun to wait until my kids are old enough.
Yeah,
to go
you
drink.
should.
That would be pretty cool.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So in a few years.
Like 10. Yeah, 10. Well, like 8 years, they'll be 18 and 16. So.
You're going to start saving.
All right.
You pay for that and then college.
Yeah. Maybe one of my kids will decide not to go to college, and then we can just use the college fund to go to Germany and drink beer.
Perfect. There you go. That's awesome. All right, cool. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap the episode. We are on Instagram at attenuation.podcast, and you can also email us at contact.attenuation@gmail.com. This has been episode 54 of Attenuation, a beer podcast. My name is Jason, and I'm joined by my best friend since 8th grade, Steven.
That's me.
And we are saying cheers. Are you going to report back for us next week on your trip?
Oh, yeah.
All right, perfect. So
check out Instagram, too. There's going to be tons of pictures and hopefully maybe some like little clips and sound bites, and I'll try to, talk to people and get some fun content, hopefully. So.
Okay, great. So we'll check back in with you on episode 55 next week.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, cheers.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Attenuation, a beer podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Instagram or Facebook for more fun content. Catch you next week. Cheers!